Welcome back to the Valheim Mod Spotlight. In today's video we'll be taking a look at a mod that allows you to soar through the skies, swoop over the oceans and crash spectacularly into the side of a mountain, or a forest, or the sea, a great wolf nest. OdinFlight, a mod by Pfhoenix made in collaboration with Alexander Cooney, who created the model for the wings, is a mod that allows you to fly. It's certainly one of the more novel and unique mods that I will cover, with the developer creating a flight model that accounts for speed and lift, as well as using wind, similarly to how the boats do. The wings are very much an endgame item, requiring the artisan table and other high tier resources to craft, though this can be altered. Once acquired, you'll need to ensure that you take the following things into account, otherwise you may never even leave the ground. Weight. One of the primary points to consider is your current weight. You're not going to be flying anywhere with an inventory full of stone. The less you weigh, the more lift you'll gain and the easier it is to stay airborne. Stamina. You'll need a couple of segments of stamina at the very least to be able to take off, let alone stay in the air. The more stamina you have, the more times you'll be able to flap your wings for a burst of speed, keeping you airborne for longer. Health. You'll want to make sure you're at full health when taking off, otherwise you'll find landing quite risky. Even though full damage is reduced when flying, the amount of damage that you can take when colliding with the ground or any obstacle at speed is still dangerous. So how do we fly? Well, first we need to equip Odin's wings. It takes the same slot as capes do, so you won't be able to wear a cloak whilst you have the wings equipped. Once we're ready, we'll ideally want to find a small cliff with plenty of open space to take off from, though if your weight's low enough, you will be able to take off from almost anywhere with open space. But before we even leave the ground, it's important to know how to control ourselves when we're airborne. Holding the W key will pitch our character forwards, meaning we'll start to aim towards the ground. Holding the S key will pitch us back, meaning we'll aim up towards the sky. The A and D keys will roll us left and right, so if I hold the A key, you'll see I start to bank and begin to turn. We can also press the spacebar to flap our wings. This will consume stamina and give us a speed boost, allowing us to climb to a higher altitude or increase the distance of our current glide. If you consume all of your stamina whilst flying, you won't be able to boost anymore, though you can still glide until you run out of speed. Finally, there's the air brake. Holding down the control key will cause our character to lean back, creating drag and bleeding off speed. We need to be careful when we do this though, as braking too much can cause us to stall. We now need to sprint towards the edge of the cliff and jump. This will launch us into the air and put us into our flying pose, but we'll ideally want to tap the spacebar once or twice to give us an extra burst of speed, allowing us to climb higher. As long as we don't pitch too sharply, we'll climb at a steady rate and maintain a high speed. When we're happy with the altitude we've reached, we can level off, and we don't need to press anything else. We'll even be able to glide for an extremely long distance. We'll be testing just how far we can go in a moment, so make sure to watch until the end. It's best to think of the wings as a glider or a wingsuit, with a small booster power up rather than an aeroplane. We can't fly forever, nor can we increase or decrease our speed indefinitely. It's important to note that whilst in flight, we can stall. If we pitch or bank or even air brake too sharply, we'll lose our speed and lift and will fall out of the sky. This can damage Odin's wings and potentially even break them, let alone kill you. So it's probably best to make loose turns and pitch gently instead of trying to perform any acrobatic manoeuvres. This isn't a problem though if we're air braking close to the ground, as we'll land safely and receive no fall damage. A config file is generated after running the game once, allowing us to modify the camera's automatic tilt compensation so it follows the player's rotation. There's also an option to change the crafting station used to make Odin's wings, as well as altering the amount of resources needed to upgrade them. For the grand finale of the video, we're going to attempt to fly from the far west to the far east of the map with a bare bones inventory. We have the rest of our armour equipped and some food in our inventory, so let's see how far we can go. So there we have it. We not only reached the other side of the map, but we were able to turn back and make a return journey too. Overall, I think OdinFlight is a fantastic mod that adds a nice treat for endgame players, rather than feeling like a gimmick. The mod adds a genuinely useful tool for players that are looking to explore and traverse their map in a quicker way. The mod's consideration for weight means the wings aren't overpowered and boats still have a purpose in the game, which is a nice way to balance it. If you have any questions about OdinFlight, please leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, and for more videos on the latest and most creative Valheim mods, make sure to subscribe.